Troy, coming back and getting a win like this against a team like Montreal, what does that say about the group that you currently have this season?
Yeah, I think we've had a lot of close games against them this year, and I don't know, maybe a couple went to overtime or shootout. I thought it was a great response from our last game that we had in Laval, and I liked the way we did it. I thought everybody contributed in some way, shape, or form, and just a hard kind of playoff kind of atmosphere, and I liked the physicality, and obviously nice to have a couple find the back of the net.
Natalie, how did it feel to kind of get that monkey off your back and score your first of the season?
Yeah, it felt good. I mean, I'm just trying to do the right things out there, get to the net front where I'm good, and we kind of thought of a play beforehand and ended up working out, and I hit the post at first, and I was like, oh man, just my luck, and then I was able to get the rebound luckily. So yeah, it felt nice to get that one, and yeah, it just felt like a good game overall, so it was nice to get into that.
I know it's been a little bit since you've come back, but do you now feel like you're in the full swing of things? I know you kind of came back and then you guys had that long road trip. Do you feel like you're 100% and back into the swing of things?
Definitely back into the swing of the games and everything. I mean, I think it's still going to take some more games to just like really feel like I'm there with the timing and everything and my habits. But I think just every game trying to build and make sure I'm learning from every game I'm playing, since it's pretty quick to jump into it in the middle of the season and keep up. But yeah, I think every game I'm just trying to improve and keep building on what I have.
Was there ever a point where it felt a little frustrating that you weren't able to score up until this point?
No, I mean, I think like obviously you can kind of think of that in the game, but for me, I kind of just look back on like when I came back from pregnancy. Like I think I played 6 games in the PWHPA, then I played at the World Championships, and like in those first 6 games, I may have scored a goal. Like I think I scored 1 goal maybe. So it's really just like continuing to push, and then even like after that, I think probably to where you saw me last season, it was probably 20 games in. So I think just kind of like relying on the experience that I have of like coming back from, I mean, it's different, but it's kind of similar in a sense of getting your timing and everything back, and just continuing to progress and get back to where I want to be.
Did it feel even better, especially after the second goal, with the way the crowd was behind you?
Yeah, I thought the crowd today was amazing, and I think our team has just been playing really well, so I think it feels good to know that, like, you know, there's not too much pressure. It's like we know as a group we can get it done, and just being able to go out there and just push and try to do my part.
Troy, you had a long talk with the refs early in the first period. What was that about, if you don't mind?
There was a situation where a long dump in with a goalie cover. Sometimes in those situations, the other team's not able to make a line change. But it's a close call. So they agreed as an official group that they would allow a late line change for Montreal, and I didn't know the details of the call, but I just wanted at least time to counter with us getting the home line change and being able to put who we wanted on the ice. But I think sometimes with that confusion of that call and them getting together, they're just trying to speed up the line change protocol. So I just wanted a little bit of communication, but they were great. Came to the bench and had a chat with me.
Troy, on that second goal, Hannah does a great job of getting to the middle ice, gets a shot through, and creates a rebound opportunity. Can you talk a little bit about her game in the offensive zone and her ability to find that ice in the middle and get shots through and create chances like that?
Yeah, just a great player. Obviously finds ways to, either score goals or create offense many different ways. She has a great shot, a great quick release, but like you said, also finds ways to get into that scoring area where she can contribute. So, great offensive player.
Maggie, you scored your first goal in 11 games in front of this home crowd. Do you mind just talking about what this atmosphere is like playing at the Coca-Cola Coliseum?
Yeah, totally. Definitely biased, but I think we got the best fans in the league, and I feel like every time we play in this building, we're at a huge advantage. They bring the energy every single night, so if we're able to score as many as we did tonight, I know it's just as much fun for us as it is for them.
And maybe just as a team, it was a very back and forth game in terms of physicality. How is you and the coaching staff, as well as the players, able to just keep the mindset going that, hey, look, we got this lead. Let's not try to at least get too sucked into the way that they were trying to play?
I don't think we changed anything throughout like the game. I think You get a lead, but you got to still keep pushing. You got to keep up that physicality, and obviously we got some penalties for it down the line in the game. But I think that our game is a physical game, and we want to slow them down. We want to be in their face. Have quick defense, pin them, get pucks up. So I think that we just kind of stuck to our game and didn't change. Maybe we could try to get less penalties, but that it happens in some games, and some games it doesn't. So we just kept with our game.
We really do want to play on that line. Obviously, went over at times tonight, and at the start you mentioned them playing a certain way. I think we dictated as much as anybody, right? So you generally get what you deserve, and we probably crossed the lines a little bit tonight. So we just want to manage that, but we want to be the ones initiating and bringing the physicality. We have the players in the group that can, play defensively, offensively, but physicality is a big part of both of those aspects.
Troy, you talk about, playing on that line. How much easier is it to do that when you have a team that's really rolling on the penalty kill?
Yeah, definitely. You to have success as a team, you have to have a group that's not scared to make plays offensively, but also defensively and also physically. So when your kill is as successful as we've been of late, it wasn't that way obviously at the start of the year. I think you might have brought that up a couple times.
That's my job.
I think that's important, right? So if you got confidence in your kill, you can go out and play that game on the edge knowing that you're going to cross it from time to time. I think they do a great job of managing it.
Is there any extra meaning to this one? Last year you guys were undefeated against this team, and then this year this is your first win against them in 5 games.
I mean, yeah, I think we wanted to get a win against them and to have played them and then gone on that break. I'm sure you could do a lot of reflection on kind of the beginning of the season and that game especially. So, yeah, kind of coming into this, that was the goal to, kind of start off on a good foot here and to get a win. And I think it just gives us confidence going down the line.
Yeah, I actually just had a conversation about that whole Montreal-Toronto thing, and those storylines, they don't matter a lot. Like, we beat them 5 times last year and didn't win a Walter Cup. So it really doesn't, our group is all about trying to find ways to get better, and I think we've progressed a lot this year to this point. Obviously, you don't want to go 0-5 against them, so the wins are important. But right now, the wins are just more important because that's 3 points that a lot of teams right now are not getting. So that's 3 points. It feels like a 3-point win against the league. So that, to me, right now, as a coach, it just feels like you just separated by 3 points from everybody when you're beating the top team in the league.
Troy, in terms of the similarities between this year and last year slow start and you won 11 in a row. This year you've slow start, now you've won 9 out of 11. Is there any specific lessons you've been able to impart from last year that's contributed to this run of success?
I don't know, the players probably would have some. If you figure it out, let me know, because we'd rather have a better start. It's probably a number of things. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on it or what happens.
Yeah, I think as a group, like once you start playing and building chemistry and you're able to just mesh together, everyone just gets on the same page. So we'd love to figure out a way to obviously start the season hot. But I think regardless, we find a way to come together as a team, and showed the results the past, 9 out of 11.
I think we've had this conversation kind of in a group that we probably throw a lot at them as well early, and it's building a bit of a foundation that you hope to be able to tap into later. Is it too much? It could be. So I think it's something that now that it's happened 2 years in a row, there's probably needs to be some reflection from a coaching staff to see if we're doing the right thing early on in the year. Is it costing us early but benefiting us later? We don't know, but it's something obviously we'll chat with players at the end of this year and see if it's the right direction. But maybe a little bit too much information early on.
How's the grind of the season? I appreciate each one of you because you have such different points of view, like playing the full season and then kind of joining late, but having a pretty segmented season and maybe even coach. You're going to go to the World Champion. So your season looks different. Do all three of you have any comments on just the grind and how it feels this year?
Yeah, I think there's no denying that it definitely is a grind at times. But at the same time, we have great staff, and especially from the performance side of things, that juggle our schedule, make sure that we're rested when we need to be. And I know Troy's mentioned this a few times, like the big road trip that we just came off of. The coaching staff was like very prepared for that and prepared us well to go into that and be able to be recovered for the games as much as we could with the travel that we had. So it definitely is a grind, but I think you just have to embrace it, especially being a professional now.
Was there anything oh, again, sorry, you mean your
All good. I mean, my season's just getting started, so I feel
But
good.
it's a weird kind of structured the way, you rehab and then
For
play some
sure.
games.
Yeah. I feel like my grind was probably through the rehab, and now it feels like I can finally just enjoy it, play the game I love, and get out there. So I think just more excitement really going into every game still, and just, grinding and working hard, but it's like, this is the fun stuff.
Is it a grind for you?
Yeah, I think that's fun though. Like and I mean, you were there a lot watching what Spooner had to do to come back. That's a grind. To do it by yourself and not have your teammates there all the time to help you through those tough moments, like that's a legitimate grind. Our grind, I mean, Maggie alluded to it, is like you want to surround yourself with as many good people as you can. You want to trust their professionalism. They're going to make adjustments. You ask the athletes enough questions. You ask them the right questions. They're going to give you the answer. So you're just trying to collaborate as much as you can and make decisions that set people up for success. And I do think the grind's a good question because I think it's what separates a lot of good players from great players, and even staff, good from great, is like the people that can embrace the grind and actually enjoy it.
Maggie, we've seen Laura come in mid-season and you've got to play with her a little bit. What has she brought to the depth of this group, and have you seen her adjustment over the past few weeks here?
Yeah, totally. I think it speaks a lot to her character and things. Like the adjustment is kind of not even, like I don't even really see it. Like she's just jumped into the group so well. She's actually quite funny. She's a lot of funny things to say, and she's a great personality. But I mean, on the ice, she's a great player. I think she sees the ice really well, and as a centerman especially, like she's winning her draws. She's supporting in the zone really well, and she communicates a ton. So it's great to play with her, and she's been amazing so far since she's joined us.
Now, you had a unique look at Megan Carter that a lot of us, rest of us didn't. When you see what she's done and how quickly she's adjusted to this league, is it even a surprise based on what you saw coming in?
No, I wasn't surprised at all. I mean, I think she's just so steady. I mean, she blocks shots. She's a big body. I think she set the tone for us tonight, making some big hits early on. I mean, I think maybe the one thing we haven't seen as much from her yet is her heavy shot. Like, I got to tip a lot of her shots in the preseason, and, like, she can get a shot off real fast, and it's pretty hard and a great tipping shot. So I think other than that, like, she's just so solid back there. She has great angles. Like, I had to go against her, and she's really hard to beat. So I think we've seen that transfer right over into the league, and she's been amazing for us.
Can any of you speak to the performance and the importance of Kristen Campbell tonight?
I mean, I think she's kind of built back up her game. Obviously, a little bit of a slow start, but she's keeping us in games now and making those big saves we need, which I think is great. And maybe took her a bit to get there, but I think she has the confidence now and is rolling with it. And we're gonna need her here. So it's fun to see her play and have fun out there and make those big saves for us.
Going 6 for 6 on the penalty kill, was there a specific game plan for tonight against a high-powered offense like Montreal?
There was a little bit, not, we've tried to not overdo it a whole lot. Rachel Flanagan runs our penalty kill right now, and she's done a good job, and it's mostly just a good job not overloading things, just giving little tidbits of information on what you can expect from the opposition. And, a lot of times, too, with the new rules, it's more, you get lucky sometimes with who you end up starting the penalty kill with. But I think everybody's committed to just doing some little things to get us that first clear so we can get our penalty killers on the ice. But they did a great job. Obviously, Montreal at times has struggled on the power play, but they're so dangerous. Like when you have players like that have, they're just power play players. They're definitely dangerous, and our PK did a great job tonight.
Thank you, everyone.